Good afternoon, Stampers. Welcome to today's live. My name is Judi Anderson from judistamps.com, and I am an independent demonstrator from the U.S. So welcome. Diane and I collaborate every week and do a live on each other's Facebook. So welcome to my friends in Canada, as well as my friends in the U.S. and all around the world. So, if you are watching here, don't forget to give me the thumbs up or hearts if you're loving what I am bringing you. Please share these videos, whether you're on Diane's Facebook page or mine. That is the biggest compliment that you guys can give us. And if you're watching on my YouTube channel, welcome. I am so happy you're here today. And be sure to subscribe and click on the bell so you are notified every time I come on live. So we have some friends popping in already. Hello, Marjorie and Janet and Sue and Pat. Hello, hello, hello. So make sure if I am streaming on StreamYard, so you need to give StreamYard permission. It'll pop up if you have not given them permission to comment. So are you guys ready for another birthday card today? I am doing one with a die set. Yeah, some dies. And it is going to be, I'm thinking for a boy, but if I know my granddaughter, she would love today's card too. And, you know, you could make these for boys or girls, men, teenagers, just kids of all ages and adults. But we were trying to concentrate on kids today. So let me flip you around so you can see what I'm talking about. And we're going to get started. Okay. So there we are. So you will find this bundle on page 47 of the annual catalog. I am clipping my mic to my mount. So hang on just a second. There we go. Seems the wire gets in the way when I put it on myself, no matter how I put it on. So you're going to find on page 47, it does come with the stamp set and the dies. Today I am just using the dies because I want you to see how you can use it with other sets also. Now, come to think of it. Oh, so another die that you could use with this, and I will be showing that in the future, is the Give It a Whirl die. Because you see right here, this little emblem, you could actually cut that out of the hat and use the Give It a Whirl, and you can change what is shown in that opening and just with a little wheel. So that's fun too. But we are using the dies. Don't forget, you could purchase the set and the dies together right now and save 10%. And it is found on page 47 of the annual catalog. So hat builder dies. This is what you get. And I love these guys, this hat. It is so versatile. And look at all these little things that come with it. You can change the emblem in the front of the hat here. You can change that just by changing out what you put in there. Now we are going to use this today. And these two dies go together. This will cut out the cardstock, and this is a stitch die that you put in there and it'll do the stitching. And I have found you can actually run both of those through at the same time if you want to save time. But as you can see, there's different things that you can use. And do you guys see this little hat? I absolutely love this hat. It's a mini hat and it goes good on our awesome otters and so many other things. You can put it on the penguins, you guys. You can put it on the turtles. And we are going to be using this in a little bit different way today. And so we're going to take that out. And, you know, the other day, and I haven't taken it out, I set my little die holder on top of my bin of brads. Look what happened. I forgot the lid wasn't on and it attracted all these brads. And I had said I needed to take them off, but I hadn't taken them off yet. So I need to do that so I can use this today because I don't want to separate. And as you can see, it is quite a strong magnet. It's so powerful. It's crazy. And in case you're wondering what this is just a tool hole, like a metal holder for mechanics when they're working on cars, etc. Not to lose the bolts and nuts and stuff as they're taking the, my husband was a auto body man. He mostly did painting in his later years, but he would use this when taking apart a car, but a bigger version, and putting all the little metal pieces in. And when he saw me with it, he goes, "What are you doing with that?" I go, "It's not yours. This was a Christmas gift from one of my customers and friends." So that's where I stick my dies so I don't lose them. So we're going to stick those right in there. Today, we're also going to use the Playful Alphabet dies. Oh my gosh, you guys, these dies are perfect. And, ooh, I have an HB in white. I don't know if I'm going to use white or not. I just noticed, because when I cut extras, I put the extra dies in here. We're going to get the H and we're going to get the B. I don't think I'm going to do it in white, so I'm just going to leave those in there. And I have a D in there also. But these are the perfect size for cards. And these are also the perfect size to put into this opening here. So we are going to put an HB in there. Just haven't decided on the color yet. So we have those, all that set to the side. Let's put our dies in here so we don't lose them. Okay, we are starting with a piece of Poppy Parade. And this is cut 4 1/4 by 11 inches. And I have scored it at 5 1/2 and at 2 3/4. Now we are going to do a Z fold card today. So I'm going to fold that in half that way. And then I am going to fold it back on itself like that. And that is going to form the Z. Okay, right there. Set that to the side. Then I have a base of Bermuda Bay. And I was going to use this at first. And, I think it's really cute and it would make a cute card. But I just feel that this sun design reminds me of fireworks or candles, and it's glowing. So this designer series paper is the Sunshine and Rainbows, the free celebration 6x6 paper that you can get. We could use this side too, but I'm thinking I'm going with this today. Well, I'm going to decide after I get my hat together. Okay, so then we have a piece of Pool Party, a piece of Poppy Parade, and a piece of Basic White. So out of the Pool Party, we are going to grab our cut and emboss machine. And I'm using the big fella today. And let's move this. This is, oops. See how strong this magnet is? It's on the base of my camera. And I went to pull it out and it pulled the whole thing away. So we are using, today, we are using the number 1 platform, the number 2 platform, and 2 of the number 3s. We're going to put 1 on the bottom, and this is going to be for our hat. Now, I could do this one of 2 ways. I could do the whole thing, or I could just do it for the brim, because I want to do the brim in the Poppy Parade. And I am just going to layer that one on top of the Pool Party today. And look at this. Look how cool that comes out. Now you're going to notice the stitching doesn't go all the way down. That's because that's where that little layer is going to go. I call it a tag layer. It's not really a tag. Okay, we're going to bring that back through. And I am going to put on the Poppy Parade. Now with this, all I want is the brim. So I don't need to put the whole thing on. So I am just putting it on like this. I am going to have to trim it a little bit with my paper snips, and that's okay. So we're going to run this through. Such fun, huh? So many different things we can do with this. Okay, so there's our brim, right like that. We're going to trim it. And what's nice is they have these little score lines that we can follow with our scissors. We are done with this die. So we are going to use this die and our white. I think I'm going to go ahead and do it white. So we are going to put that on. And then I am going to go, I'm not going to layer that inside piece because I forgot my washi tape. So we're going to run this through. So we're going to actually run it through twice. Normally I'd probably do it once, but if I just used Post-it note, my Post-it note, not Post-it note tape, I think it would probably move. So we have that there. So I'm going to line this up, and there's a little bit, here, let me pull this off. I don't know if you can see. See, there's a little bit of an indentation going all the way around. It's hard to see on here. Let me turn that light, doesn't help at all. Okay, but there's a little bit of an indentation, and it's about the same size as the outside of this. So if I just line this up onto that raised part there, just like that, and then I'm going to take my Post-it note. So good morning. We have more people joining us, Dorothy and Debbie and Patty. Okay, we're going to put that on. And I see Karen. I kind of feel like I am doing Romper Room. Did any of you watch Romper Room as a child? Oh, she'd look into that mirror and she'd say your name and you'd get all excited because you thought that she really saw you. Okay, so there is our stitching on there. So we've got that piece. We're going to pile that there. Now we're going to go to our H and our B. And I think I'm debating, should I do it in the Poppy Parade, the Bermuda Bay, or Crushed Curry? Let me know. So get your votes in now. And another Pat, hello from St. Louis. So I have these little hats, right? And remember I said I was going to do something special with that today. So I am going to take my piece, and I forgot to make a score line on here. Now I want to line these up, I think, straight. I'm going to line them up straight on here. So I want to take my score blade and I'm going to line them up, about an inch to the inside of the right side. I just want something to line up my die to. So don't forget, you're supposed to be voting. And Yvonne is from Savannah. Is that Savannah, Georgia? Ooh. But it's warm down there compared to up here in Chicago and Canada. Okay, so I'm going to put this on, and you're going to notice on this die, there's a little bump for that little button that's on the cap. I'm going to line that up right there with my score line. And then I'm going to take the bottom of the brim and line that up on that side. Now we're going to cut this out. Just put it down there. So give me your votes. What color is Happy Birthday, the HB? Do you want it Crushed Curry, Poppy Parade, or my and Bermuda Bay? I knew there was 3 colors. And we have this little die cut out that we can save and use for later. My platform is really cut up, but this one is nice and flat, so I like to keep it. So we've cut one out. I'm going to cut another one, and I am going to do this one down here, and I want to keep it about the same distance as I did it from the top up here. I want to do it from the bottom here. So I'm going to put that on just like that, lining up that little button and that corner of that brim. So do I see any votes? Oh, Savannah, British Columbia. Okay, awesome. I guess it's not too much warmer up there than it is here. So we have a Bermuda Bay and we have a Poppy Parade. So we got two colors. We either need to break that tie or choose crushed curry. You know, it's totally up to you guys. You guys are helping me make this card today. And let's go. Okay, and we're going to do this one. And I am going to distance this in the center of the two that I already cut. Now, when I do something like this, I like doing the two outside first and then the middle one last, because I can center that in between, even though it's not really, might not be even, but it's pretty close. It's by eyesight. So if my eyesight, which is pretty bad, says that it's pretty close to being even, nobody else is really going to notice unless they measure. So we have that, the other piece stuck up onto my mat. So we have that. And so what we've done is I have the hiccups. Let me grab a drink of water. We've created a stencil, and we are going to be able to stencil on those a little bit later. So let's get to putting this together. So this is what it's going to look like. Okay. So I haven't decided yet. I'm going to grab my paper snips here, and we're going to snip this off right along these little score lines. So I'm just going to follow it right now and just snip it off right as those score lines go and bring it right down to that brim of that hat. Now I can take this and go up and snip that off. I didn't want it round it because we're going to be putting that on the hat in just a second. But we want to give this hat a little bit of dimension. Now it does look 3D, and we can use dimensionals to 3D it. You know, we've got all kinds of different ways of doing that. But I want to take my Pool Party ink pad, and I grabbed one of my sponge daubers. And my sponge daubers are pretty old, you guys. In fact, I've pulled some of them out, and they're starting to fall apart. They're so old. So what I do is I label them with what color they are, and then I keep them in a fishing tackle box, actually, holder. And each little pocket has the color, and it has a sponge and a sponge dauber in it. Now we don't carry the sponges anymore because we have our blending brushes. So I am going to take this and I am going to follow right along those little score lines. Okay, and I don't want a lot of color on there, but I do want it light. Now I'm going to do the same thing along here, just along in soft swirls. Okay, then I want to go along the edge. So along the edge, I'm actually going to kind of tap it. Can you hear that? Okay. Oh, I just got another idea. Oh my gosh. Okay, going here. And then we don't have to worry about the brim because the brim is going to be covered with the Poppy Parade. But I do want to do along the bottom of the brim. And I can do the bottom part as dark as I want on this part because we're not going to see that. We're covering that up. So I do want it light and going to the center. So see how that has caused it to look a little bit round and give it a little bit of dimension. I'm going to bring this coloring in here just a little bit more. And I can tell that this sponge dauber is starting to fall apart a little bit. Some of the sponge is coming. And I think that that happens from it sitting because I don't clean them. I just let them sit in the ink. Okay. So we have that, and it looks great, right? But I like adding a little extra to that. So I'm taking my white craft pad, and it's a little dirty, and I have a white sponge dauber. I'm going to pick up some ink. And now in the center of this, I'm just going to rub a little bit of white. And it's not going to be much, and I'm just doing a little bit, but can you see that white? Now this one is going to go this way. So I'm starting here and I'm rounding it up. Okay. Now what I'm going to do is I'm taking my blending brush and I am going to swish up and down like that. And what that is doing is that is blending that white in a little bit. And so it's not so stark, because I don't want it stark. But look at that. See how that totally changed it? Now we need to do, now it looks really white there, but in person it doesn't. It isn't as white as it's showing up on my camera. Now I'm going to add just a little bit right here, right down the center. I'm pressing on the side of my dauber. Okay. And I'm going to bring that down just like that. And okay, now I'm going to take this dauber and I'm just going to do a little bit over. And what this is doing is and I'm not hardly pressing at all, you guys. I'm just trying to blend those colors a little bit. Look at that. Okay, so now it's time to attach our brim. So we're going to attach this brim on here. And look how it changes that hat, you guys. The little score lines line up, the stitching lines, just like that. So we're going to use our liquid glue. And I think before I do that, I am going to take the white just a little bit and put a little bit of white and just rub with my finger. And I'm wondering if, I think I'm going to take the pool party. I hadn't planned on this. Let me get a blending brush. My reds. Okay, here's my reds. And I'm going to go over the edges a little bit. Oops. I think that when you add the sponging and the blending brushes to your projects like this, you're just taking them up to that next level. Okay, so I'm just barely going along the edge. And I'm just going to go up and down each side here just so it darkens that up just a little bit. Okay. And I wish I had made one so you could see the before and the, this on the camera, this looks really white and I can hardly see it. So I am going to go ahead and color that in because that means the light is reflecting of it. There it goes. See, it's still light there. Okay. So let's close up our ink pad. I'm looking at our votes. So, looks like Bermuda Bay is taking off. So we have 2 Bermuda Bays, 1 Poppy Parade. What about cutting 2 and shadowing the crushed curry with one of the colors? I thought of that too. I wanted to see what colors you guys chose though. My thought was the crushed curry and the Bermuda Bay. Because we already have the other 2 colors on the hat. Okay, we're going to bring that right up to that edge, just like this. And you know, I'm already thinking of Hunter's birthday card. I am going to cut this out up here, and I have a turtle sticking out. I gave him a turtle from one of the trips that I had gone on to the Western Caribbean with Stampin' Up. And he, to this day, loves that turtle. Okay, so we have that. So we're going to need to bring our cut and emboss machine back. So you guys are voting on choice. Okay, so Bermuda Bay. Oops, I'm looking at the comments here. Sorry. We have Bermuda Bay and Poppy Parade. So I am thinking I am going to do the Bermuda Bay, but I think I want to do the crushed curry. Otherwise, I could have done the crushed curry as the background. And this is going to go on like this, but I can work the Poppy Parade in. I'll show you how I'm going to work the Poppy Parade in. So let's go ahead, work the Poppy Parade in. Let's grab our Stampin' Right marker. We're gonna get it all in here, right? You know, I love to please my people. So I'm just going to go along these stitch lines and do a red Poppy Parade stitching. Now, years ago, we used to take our piercing mat and we had templates, and we'd take our piercing tool and we'd make little holes. And we would do this between the holes to make it look like stitching. So it looked like you were going in the needle holes and then the stitching was in between. But this is actually a little bit smaller because your stitching line is bigger. So there, I've pleased those of you that want Poppy Parade. Let me grab the Bermuda Bay and the crushed curry. So there is our Bermuda Bay. And let me grab a piece of crushed curry here. And we're going to cut those out. So we're going to cut out, I think I can cut both of these at one time. Bring my machine back here. Let's move this over. Now I do this a lot. I cut twosies of things, double layers, a lot when I do my cutting for projects. But you can't do that with all dies. So I'm just setting the two colors I want right here. And we have the H and the B. Okay, let's get those run through. I'm going to run them forward and backwards to make sure we get all the way through. And if I am lucky, these did go all the way through. Oh, and they did. So we should be good. The H and the B. Let's get these up. 1, 2. Yep, I have all my dies there. So let's get these. And you're going to tell that these are just a little bit bigger than that space. Let's pull this over. And we're going to go ahead and start attaching our things. And like I said, you know, look at this. We could do this side too. You know, it really wouldn't matter. But I do like the sunshine side. So let's get that side down. Just like this. You know, I'm going to be really sad to see this rainbow and sunshine paper go. Like I said, I have found it to be so versatile. Okay, so we have that. Now we're going to put our hat on there. So we are just going to put it on just like this. Now, if I wanted, I could have colored a couple of these hats or done the hats out of some other papers, and we could put those around also, but we're not going to for this card. The front of this card is a very simple, so I like that on there like that. I am going to, in the very center, I want to pop a couple dimensionals just down the center line. And then we're going to do it here. And let's do one down here. Okay, and I want those just so it does pop up a little bit. It's still going to look 3D. And then I'm going to take my liquid glue and I'm going to go along the edges because I want those down flat. Let's get those down flat, right? Okay, just a little bit. Let's flip this around. And we are just going to put this just in the, and I'm putting it in the center because like I said, I am not putting anything else on the front of this. I want this hat to be the focal point. I'm going to set this on next. I'm going to go ahead and use my tape for that. And I'm going to set it right here. And you can tell these lines right here kind of tell you where it goes. You want to look at your spacing at the bottom and put that on. Okay, we need our silicone mat for this next part. And oh, I just remembered, I forgot to turn the ringer off of my phone, so I'm hoping that it does not go off. Okay, so we have the H and we have the B's. And this is what I was thinking of. Just like that. I like the dark. I like the Bermuda Bay in the background because it's like a shadow. So we are going to flip these two over, the crushed curry, and let's dab a little bit of liquid glue along here. Don't you just love this liquid glue? We were just discussing in my class this morning how this is the most used adhesive of my clients. They just love this. We use them all, but if we had to say which one we use the most, it would be that liquid all-purpose. Okay, let's stick this on. And I know Diane uses tweezers for hers, but I never was able to use the tweezers. I'm just not a tweezer person. I use my scissors a lot, and how I use my scissors is I just hold them, my paper snips, I just hold them like that. And they hold whatever I want. I just don't have luck with tweezers. Okay, I'm going to do that just like that. Okay, and we're going to set this HB right there. Now I am going to do those flat on there. I don't want to do dimensionals. I think it'd be too much because don't forget we added dimensionals underneath the middle of the hat. So if we added more dimensionals, that would be 2 dimensionals thick, which is okay with me. But I just don't know if these letters would lie flat. Let's flip this over. We don't want glue on there. So we're going to do the H all the way to this side. And it's probably going to be angled a little bit. These are just a tad bit big. You could put a candle here for a birthday. And we are going to do this one, and they are going to overlap a little bit. HB. Okay, so remember I said we are going to do the middle here. And where's my stencils that we made? We're going to put this to the side because we're not going to put it together now first. So I want to put these down one side. So I could do it this way, but it's a stencil, so I could really do it either way. So I think I'm going to do it this way. And I want to take a look at these and kind of center this in the center. I know this is 4 inches. So if I go to the 2 line, it goes to the 6 line. I want this middle one centered about the 4 line. And I think that that looks pretty good. So use that graph paper, you guys. Now, I am going to cover up these other holes because I know me. I know what's going to happen. So we're going to use 3 colors. We are going to use the crushed curry. So I need to get out my yellow blending brush. Good morning, Diane. Glad you made it. You know, I told Diane yesterday I had a class during her live and then an appointment. So I didn't get to watch her live yesterday till late in the afternoon. So I am just going to go and do this as the hat. Okay, I'm going to pick that up. The top one is next. And we are going to do the Poppy Parade on the top. that good and inked up. Oops. I don't know. Some of my ink pads are getting kind of tacky-like. Let's line this up. Kind of moved on me. Let's get this inked up on top. So this is a great way too of adding to it. And I could use the stamp set and add some details because I believe there's a hat in the stamp set, but I didn't grab the stamp set because I wanted to show you how you could do a majority of your card with just using the dies, you know. Now the stamp set I'm going to use for the happy birthday, oops, is the sweet ice cream. I move this. Tisk, tisk, Judy. Is the sweet ice cream because I love the happy birthday in that set. There you go. Get that a little bit darker. Okay. So you'll notice that I made that piece that I'm using as a stencil. It's 3 inches wide. It's pretty wide because I didn't want to go off the side. And look at that. Just customizing the inside of that card with those. Then I'm going to grab, like I said, I have the happy birthday here from the sweet ice cream set, which is also, you will find that in the annual catalog. And I need to grab my Memento ink. You know, I have 5 Memento ink pads because I use them a lot in my classes. I am down to 1. I lost 4. I am sure they are in something somewhere that I didn't put away. So we're just going to stick the happy birthday right here. Just like that. Make that nice and easy. Okay, we're going to finish putting this together. Close up all these ink pads. We are going to put this piece, the inside, in the card first. And there is a reason for that. In fact, I usually make this piece just a little bit smaller. And I just thought of that as I was putting the adhesive on. Just so I make sure that the front, that does not peek out from the front. Okay, so we're going to do that. Okay, nice and even. Okay, and now to put this on, I am going to put some liquid glue along this edge here, and then I always put it along this edge here. Okay, and that's because anytime I have put it 2 strips onto this piece, I always get it on the outside of where it needs to go. So I just want to make sure that that white does not show. So if I line my Bermuda Bay up with that white, the basic white, it is fine. Okay. Now, remember I said I just thought of something? I did think of something, but they're in the wrong colors. Oh my gosh. You know what? I bet I could do this Bermuda Bay. So these are the shaker shapes. I use these a lot, you guys. And I'm going to grab my silicone mat here and grab my Bermuda Bay. Yes. I believe this is Bermuda. Yep. Dark Bermuda Bay blend. I am going to grab a glue dot from here. Now, if we had a crushed curry blend, I probably would have chosen the crushed curry, but we don't. And I want this nice and dark. So I like this little circle, and I'm sticking my glue dot on there. And there's a reason why I'm using the glue dot and not the glue, because yes, the glue dot is too big. We're going to stick that there. Well, maybe we're going to stick it there. We want that to hold there while I color it. And I'm going to use my blend to color this dot. Now these little dots are kind of, oh, I don't know if they're foam. They're kind of a rubbery foam type thing. So I'm going to go underneath and get that glue dot. And we're going to take that. And remember I told you I had an idea for the beanie top? For that little button up there? There we go. That sticks, just push it down. If you need to add a little bit more, you could add some more color on there, but I really don't think it needs it. I like it shaded a little bit. It's kind of on there crooked. There we go. Okay, so that's our birthday card for today. It's a Z fold. We could decorate more in the front. It's totally up to you. I could see putting little dots of the colors inside, around here a little bit. Out of cardstock, you just punch out some dots, and then the happy birthday, and then that hat thing. Now, you could change this up, like I said. I could have used pink here instead, and pink instead of Poppy Parade, and it would make it a more of a feminine card. So, well, hello, Denise and Pat. So, Pat's liking the stencil technique. Thanks. I do that a lot with my dies. I use my dies for all kinds of things, and that's one of them, making it as a stencil. So I hope you guys enjoyed it today, and I'm not sure what we're doing next week, but Diane and I will figure out that soon. So until next time, everybody, happy stamping.